That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know it was supposed to rain. This is going to be hard to do. Yep. Record and do this is hard. So definitely hear that there. You see it flickering.
Yeah.
So that's what they say on MSD ignition.
You have the switch on right now.
Yeah, switch is on. So I mean, like I said, it's hard to do for y'all to see. For me holding this wire, but what I'm doing is I'm jumping the green and purple to this with this right here. I'm just touching it with that, and then I'm getting this right in there. It's kind of hard to get it in there just right, but they use the people on the MSD used a clothespin. Not a paper clip. I couldn't find a damn paper clip. Yeah. So, but anyways, so like I said, that spark's there, and which tells me going through that wire to the box with the box flashing, like I said, according to everybody on their site, that this thing is supposed to be working. And then we looked up, and it was 831 ohms, right? Yeah. Of the ignition, the coil. So that's in working range. So, and I just changed the cap and plug, which I guess we need to take the cap and plug off, see if it's spinning, is what James. If we broke the shaft in the distributor. So we got spark to here. We've already said this, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, that was with the spark test and everything. You heard it pop. The box flashed every time that this went off, so that means it's receiving a signal through the box, or through the wire to the box, and out of the box back to here. And then I changed the cap, button, the whole 9 yards in that one. Which the one dude in the comments said that he's never seen a setup, a coil wire delivered to a distributor this way, but I mean to the HMI setup, that's the way it is. So that's when you order it. Like I said, this stuff has been on this car April.
Yeah, it's been running.
Yeah, April the 21st of this year will be 3 years that this has been installed on this car. So this is just abrupt like that. So no, I can't. And then, like I said, the distributor tested out, unless we did it wrong or something, at 831 ohms, and the working range is 300 to 1300 or 500 to 1500, depending on wherever you look. And then the only other thing, like I said, I can come up with to try offhand is to put everything back into the distributor the way it's meant to be, and basically do away with the MSD, all the MSD stuff I would basically be doing away with. And that's the whole purpose of having it, is which Dad has told me to do. He said, throw all that shit out and go back to the way it's supposed to be. But then I lose my lev rimmer and my protection and everything else that I was running with. Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits for the MSD box. That's why you use them. So,
like I said, and the distributor is just something I can order, and it's not that expensive. You see, it's what was $99 for the one with the vacuum advance, and one without, but $109. It's not that. Just picking which one or where we're going to run, and I guess I'm leaning back on getting another one with a vacuum advanced on it because of what I want to do.
I think that's the smarter way to go. And like I said, if you get that one, and we get in a situation where we want to lock it out, you can just do it manually. I mean, if you buy the one that's already locked out, the only difference is it's been drilled and tapped for a set screw. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
And that little piece.
And it don't have the vacuum advance on it.
On it, yeah. The little piece is covered up.
It's covered up and it's been locked out manually. We can do the same thing ourselves, you know what I mean? We just have to plug that vacuum port and then put a set screw and lock it out ourselves. And so, I mean, we can get the same thing on if we have to have it.
I just can't understand what the hell happened.
I don't either. It's something horribly simple, I'm sure.
It's gotta be.
It's just something that we're missing. And the only other thing that I can think of is, so we know we're getting signals, we know we're getting fire. It's turning over and it's not firing. On some older cars, especially Dodges, I remember you saying that guy was having trouble with the Chryslers with those 6L boxes. On some cars, your 12 volt on power that you're using to power that box with, when you go to ignition, some of the cars are set up to where it shorts the power to everything else so that you get that direct load from the battery to the starter. And I read on the MSD website where they said that can be an issue with those boxes because you go to start it and it senses a voltage drop and it causes the box to shut off.
Okay.
My issue with that is that for 2 years it didn't do that.
This is true. Almost 3 years.
Yeah. Why all of a sudden would it just start doing that? That's where I'm at a little bit of a stumbling block on that one.
So that's where I'm at. Everything was
ignition switch too. I mean, it makes it turn over, but that's something that I think we need to look at and see: are we getting a full 12 volts from the switch to the box, which I was not getting right here just now. Now you're going to get a little bit of drop. It's not going to be.
What was it at?
You know what I mean?
What were you getting?
I was getting like 10 1/4.
Oh, okay.
Which is about where it's supposed to drop to if that system is active.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I am tapped in still to the original wiring harness where it's just hooked to a key switch is all it tells you to do, really.
Yeah.
So that's where it goes back again to maybe getting a simpler wiring harness from Painless and just rip all this shit out. And, because MSD has a bunch of relay boxes and stuff like that I could hook up and buy. They're not that expensive, and set up my own relays and stuff. But that's, damn, I just can't believe from going from putting the air to fuel.
I didn't think about this. Was a fuel injected car.
It was, yeah.
Have you checked the fuse for the ignition system?
I checked all the fuses.
And they're good.
They're all good. That was the first place I went. First thing Daddy told me, and the battery. So, like I said, it fired up that when we did the testing on the air to fuel gauge after I got through with it crunked right up, sat here and idled, and then I went to turn it off, and then I heard water running. I was like, damn, I got a leak. I got to looking for it and got to noticing it was the carburetor just pouring fluid into the carburetor, and then like I said, it went from that to spending the money to do what we did with the new pressure regulator and all that. Never had to have it before. That carburetor's been on this motor 2 years, and it's never had a regulator.
Yeah.
And okay, I can get that the pump's broke in. Okay, and everybody says the 4150s Holley's got to have a pressure regulator on them. You look them up, they tell you that. But which again, I didn't have to have it at first.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, again, I think we just lucked out there, and I told you I thought we should have had one on to start with.
Yeah.
But I think it was because it was all brand new.
And now this, like I said, it's from flooding out to not cranking, all from an air to fuel ratio gauge. That was it. And then it's like Jesus.
From my own intuitive inquisition, when you did the air fuel gauge, you had to wire that in, right?
Yep.
Where'd you wire that up at?
In the cab.
In the cab.
Yeah, it's all wired. The two air to fuel ratio gauges are wired in to each other than
plugs that go to the two sensors.
Two sensors. Yeah, the main power, and the ground are both coming from the same spot, and I'm using the 1 to that one because it's all run up right together.
Yeah.
So it was already simplified. It was already there. I just tapped in everything I had, and then of course run it out right here. That's what I'm saying. I crunk it up after that though. And it has never fired up again since that point. Since I tested the air to fuel gauge that day and cut it off, it hasn't ran again. It's been flooding out and no crank. And I didn't know it wasn't cranking until after I got the the carburetor rebuilt, and then it was still flooding out. So then we waited and got a new, the Holley fuel pressure regulator and I got everything to go with it that I thought was proper, and
Yeah.
it's still.
And you got fuel in your carburetor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can pump it. That wouldn't.
I think that'll answer some questions for us that we can't answer right now for sure. I'm 99% confident that that box is good.
I mean, like I said, we got the spark down there, which we do. We could put the inline tester in, which I haven't done yet on the previous ones, but we did this time. And it's a low spark to it. I mean, it did light it up, so we pulled all the plugs and cleaned all the plugs off, put the plugs in there, and got gas. I got gas. So can't. That was the top comment last week was, does it got gas in it? so I mean,
I don't think gas was the issue.
no, it had plenty of gas.
Gas.
But I don't know. Like I said, I just ordered that distributor to be here this week and put it in and then get it working without taking none of the coil pack or nothing off it, which is nothing but a hot wire.
Yeah.
And it's right there. So, and then if the car fires up, and then we'll take out the modular out from underneath it and hook up the MSD ignition stuff, and then if it fucks up, if it messes up and then won't run, then we know exactly what's wrong. Because all of it's testing right, but it's not running. And like I said, everything I can think of, it should be running. I don't know why it's not. I don't understand. I don't know. Here's where we are. We're ordering a distributor.
Yeah. That sucks. But
I needed one anyways for this motor. So
unless you want to pull that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can just to see, but then if it does fire and run, I still got to order the distributor. So I can't rob that one from that motor.
Yeah.